Okay. Let me make sure all my windows are closed. Okay. Here we go. When I tell people what I'm going to school for, I always get the same response. Are you sure you want to do that? No, don't do it. Turn around now before it's too late. And these reactions usually come from people in the profession. So I've learned to laugh it off and quickly follow up with, well, I really love working with kids and I'm definitely not in it for the money. And this is because I want to be a teacher. And the average salary for a teacher in the state of Florida is around $46,000 a year. While athletes are being paid millions each year for playing a sport, first-year doctors, lawyers, and investment bankers are making more than $100,000 in just their first year alone. And although I do believe that these are important professions and they do deserve to be paid fairly, they are making this money thanks to teachers who taught, guided, and mentored them along the way. Many people, oh my God, sorry guys. Oh man. Many people say we need to improve our school systems, and the answer lies in the money. The problem we're facing is that teachers are underpaid, and therefore this turns away people from this career choice. People that may be fantastic teachers and perfect for the job, and people that I've personally met working with kids in the elementary school over the years that would make perfect teachers, and I tell them this, and they kind of laugh it off, and they're like, no, it's not for me. And I know it's because of the money. Teacher quality is one of the most important factors, if not the most important factor, to improving the nation's schools. Oh my gosh. So if high quality teachers are so valuable, why don't we pay them more? It's simple. Pay the teachers more, they perform better, and students will learn more. This theory was actually tested at a charter school in Manhattan. A 5-year experiment was conducted by the Mathematica Policy Research and funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The teachers were paid $125,000 per year with extra bonuses based on performance. And of course, a lot more is expected from them: longer hours, larger classes, 4 weeks of professional development, and regular reviews. The administration staff was also cut back and was a little bit smaller, and they paid the principals a little bit less to encourage the best teachers to stay in the classroom. According to the Wall Street Journal, where this study was published, it was producing results. They compared the school's 480 students with students at nearby public schools who had similar initial test scores, family backgrounds, and other demographics. Students showed average test score gains in math equal to an additional 1.5 years of school compared to the district students. And in science and English, test score gains equaled about an extra half a year of school. Imagine these outcomes for the important children in our lives, getting the absolute most out of their educational experience and achieving higher goals than they would now in the current system. Having a great teacher can change a child's life, a fact that some of us may know from personal experience. I have a couple teachers in my past that have greatly impacted me, and I'll never forget them. And in fact, I continued visiting them until they retired and were no longer teaching. This can all be achieved and already has been studied and proven to produce the desired results that we're looking for. As the saying goes, the children are our future, so let's make the most of that future. Higher teacher pay for great teachers may be the simple solution we need. That's it.
Very good.
Good job.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I had my outline up, and then like I kept on scrolling down too far, and I'm like, oh crap. But whatever.
You did good.
Thank you.
You did good. This is something you're actually very correct about. Very good speech about that too.
Yeah, you know, I love kids. I love working with kids, and I just have had some great teachers that have inspired me, and you know, that I would literally still visit like until they were no longer teaching. And I want to be that for some kids, you know, and some kids just have such crappy lives, and that's their only place where they feel safe, or you know. So to me, it's more than just the money, but you know, getting paid more would be nice.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna mute and go check on my kids.
Okay.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Make sure you pop up on
Not
the screen.
anyone but me.
Yeah, I'll go. growing up, I grew up poor. And saying poor is a gross overstatement. We couldn't even afford the OR, so we were just po. We had very little in our lives, but the one thing that we had an abundance of were vegetables. Thank God my mom had a green thumb, and she had a year-round garden to help supply us with the food that we needed. Many a nights we had vegetables for dinner. That's all we had. We were vegetarians before vegetarians were cool. So before anything, our great-grandparents, their great-grandparents, and their great-grandparents, the one thing they had in common was they always had a garden. It was a necessity. It was a way of life. They just couldn't run to the corner store and pick up a pound of tomatoes. In order for them to have food, they had to grow food. We don't do that anymore. Nobody wants to get their hands dirty. So I say every household should have a garden. A lot of people are going to say that there's many reasons we shouldn't have a garden. We don't have a yard. Gardens are too expensive. No clue on how to make a garden. And those are all just poor excuses to allow us to continuously be lazy and not grow our own garden. A yard is necessary for a garden, or a yard is not necessary for a garden. Even people in apartments can have a garden. All you really need for gardening to grow vegetables is a bucket, water, sunshine, and seeds. So many of back porches can have enough garden spots to make a salad. You can also use your windowsill to grow herbs. Therefore, you have the freshest herbs, so even if you're a bad cook, it'll still taste good. So, I've lost my way. I'm sorry. Gardens are not free. They're not as expensive as everybody thinks it is, especially if you start with a small garden. Everything you start out with, you use year after year after year, except for the seeds. And you can use your vegetables to produce more seeds, which is an heirloom seed. So as the years go on and you continuously use the same garden, the cost goes down and the more vegetables you're going to get. So it makes the beginning cost next to nothing for what you save. Feigning ignorance in this age is just wrong. I mean, we're the internet era. Anything you want to know about gardening, you find on the internet. So if you have a tiny little garden or a big garden, from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to picking your own vegetables is all on the internet for us to have. Any kind of resources from Gardening Pros. As far as work, it does take work. So everything takes work. But the work does get easier. So the first year you're going to have the hardest. Second year is going to be a little easier. Third year is going to be less. And by year 4, it's really not. I mean, you're just planting and sowing. So with all the benefits of having a garden, the pros outweigh the cons any day of the week. That right there is a great excuse. And that is 100% all natural. No pesticides, no additives. You know what you're feeding your children. So gardening is soothing to your soul, and everybody needs to start growing.
I've always wanted a garden.
Okay, can I go next?
Yeah.
I'm nervous. I want to get it over with. Okay, sorry, hold on. Okay. I have recently had a conversation with one of my peers about why not starting over. Okay. I have recently had a conversation with one of my peers where she was complaining about why her parents wouldn't pay her for the good grades that she was receiving. Apparently, she had friends who were getting paid for these good grades, and she thought it was unfair, and she was just going on and on and on. And that actually brought up sparks in my mind as to, well, why don't kids get paid for good grades? However, I did more research on it, and I changed my stance, and I figured out that actually getting good grades does not equate to getting money, and it's not really a job, because you should learn for the love of intelligence and learn because you want to know more about the world. And money shouldn't be the external drive. You should have internal motivation to keep going. People on the other side will say that money will motivate kids who haven't been motivated before, and maybe it's a good way to get them to start being motivated. However, cutting them off from that money supply that they're so used to and getting them to switch to the transition of starting to love learning would be a much harder task than to just grow them up loving to learn as it is. In addition, there have been several studies where 3 out of 4 families have said that learning with money would be completely opposite of what they want the kids to do anyways. And it also, giving the kids money for their good grades could increase their laziness because it could just make the kids want to take a back route and start cheating, which would be the bad situation and wouldn't achieve anything in the long run. And they wouldn't learn anything. They would just be getting money for material things like cars and the newest name brand shoes or whatever. And you should also want to like to learn because you want to strive to get a good career so you can earn that money, because money does not grow on trees, as that old saying goes, and it's just very precious. And power does not equate to money, though. Intelligence and learning more about the world and wanting to learn more, and that innate thirst for knowledge should be better in overall. And so people should not give their kids money for good grades, and children should strive to learn just to learn.
Are you sure you're only 16?
Actually, I'm 17. I had a birthday a week ago.
Oh, happy birthday!
I always have trouble making sure that they're long enough, but that's okay.
I think you were fine. Really good.
Okay, can I go because I have my whole family in town and I know one of them is gonna come knock on the door, so I need to make sure that's not happening while I do my speech.
Okay, Priscilla.
Okay. I'm nervous. Okay. Do you eat fast food? If you don't, that's awesome, but if you do, you should avoid it. Fast food is a common and quick way to eat on the go or when you are in a rush, and not to mention it tastes awfully amazing. When I mention fast food, I'm talking about McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, Checkers, and yes, even Chick-fil-A. I'm here to get you to avoid eating fast food. I'm going to tell you why you should avoid it, how it can affect your health, and I will even give you alternatives for a healthy lifestyle so there are no excuses. Okay, reason 1. There are a lot of odd ingredients in these fast foods, especially McDonald's. I don't know if you've ever seen Super Size Me, the movie where he eats McDonald's every day for a month and they go over the ingredients that are in that. Some of the ingredients are TBHQ. It's a butane made from petroleum, which is in the food that you're eating, which is bad. You don't want to eat that. Some of the nuggets contain dimethyl polysiloxane, which is an ingredient that's actually in silly putty. And most of the chicken that you get from these fast food places are mechanically separated chicken, which are all the scraps. So when you eat this chicken, it's all scraps of meat, so nothing goes to waste. Another reason is most of the food is not cooked properly. It's usually put into a microwave and they're frozen, so nothing is fresh, which means none of the ingredients are fresh either. It's usually GMOs and poisonous ingredients that you're putting into your body. Another reason is there's a lot of trans fat in these foods. Trans fat, basically, it's a process that adds hydrogen to liquid oils to make it a solid. So it increases the bad cholesterol levels in your body and lowers the good cholesterol levels. Sorry, I'm a little lost on my speech. Okay. You should, sorry, one second. Oh my god. Okay. When you eat fast food, it can affect your health and not in a good way. This food has low nutritional value. It's loaded with preservatives. Mostly everything is fried and hydrogenated oil, which is really bad for you. And even though they claim it's healthy for you, it's actually not. For example, McDonald's California Cobb salad has 18 grams of trans fat, which is 38% of the recommended daily intake. If you eat fast food more often, you are more likely to have gastrointestinal problems. You're more susceptible to cancer and obesity. And, sorry guys. Now that you know the risks of eating fast food, I'm going to give you healthy alternatives so you don't have to eat it. You can prep meals in the beginning of the week. You can eat smoothies. You can eat fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. And you can also cook at home more. I know it's hard with everything, work, school, but if you prep your meal ahead of time, then there's no rushing. You can just take it with you and cook it whenever you need it. Now that you know all of this, I'm going to give you a quote that Buddha said. It said, "To keep the body in good health is a duty. Otherwise, we shall not be able to keep our minds strong and clear." I want you guys to take everything that I told you today and use it to choose to avoid fast food.
There
Oh
you
my
go.
gosh.
That's
My whole everything is just a mess. I have like a PowerPoint and a thing. Hi.
They're both sick. I mean, it never ends.
Hi.
They're so cute.
They are cute. Bye. Bye.
Hi.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi.
Okay.
All right, you want me to go? I'll go. Madison, you want me to go?
No, sure.
Okay.
It's okay. Yeah, you can go.
It's on Madison right now, isn't it? No. Is it on me? Right. If you could pick your best friend, it's very important to pick your best friend wisely. Well, they say that a man's best friend is a dog. Therefore, when selecting a dog, you should pick the right breed for you. Some people say that they're not a dog person. Well, there's many different dog traits, and maybe that person chose the wrong dog for them. Today, I'm going to convince you that the Labrador Retriever, particularly the Yellow Lab, is the best dog to get for your best friend. Some reasons for this are they have a positive temperament, they're intelligent, and they're loyal companions. According to the American Kennel Club, AKC, the Labrador Retriever has been America's #1 dog for the last 21 years. Well, it's not a coincidence. As I said, they have a positive temperament. They can be trusted with your kids. If you have a party with family, friends, other dogs, you don't have to worry about them. They're highly intelligent. They're used a lot by law enforcement for bomb dogs. The military uses them as well for that. For drug dogs. You could see my little drug dog picture. They're also used for therapy, for blind, seeing eye dogs, used for diabetes, and even autism. Recently, they've been using them a lot for the military vets coming back with PTSD. So, and here's a little picture I have of a seeing eye dog helping at the ATM that I thought was pretty neat. Labs are eager to please. This is why they are good for work dogs. They the Guidance Dogs of America states that 70% of the dogs they use are Labradors, and that's for that reason. They're extremely loyal to their family. They want to serve, and they're also known to stay with their family and help their family in bad times when the smartest thing would be to run. I remember reading a story of a seeing eye dog named Dorado. His owner is Omar Rivera, and they were both in Tower 1, the North Tower, on September 11th. After the plane hit the first tower, Omar sent Dorado on his way and wanted him to go to the safety. Well, Dorado ran a few steps, came back moments later, and came back to greet Omar, helped Omar out of the tower. They went 70 flights and over an hour down the stairs till eventually they got out to safety. So talks a little bit about their loyalty. Also, Labs, they're not aggressive dogs. So if you wanted a protection dog, Lab would not be your #1 choice. Where a German Shepherd or maybe even a Doberman, if somebody broke into your house or something, they would greet them with their aggressive look. A Lab would just jump on them and kiss them probably. Also, if you like a clean house, Labrador is probably not your best dog for that. They tend to shed a lot. They also love to go swimming and play in mud and dirt and sand, and they bring all that back in the house with them. If you don't like playing with your dog or taking your dog for a walk, Lab wouldn't be your best choice because they have tons of energy. They're very playful. They need these things. A little picture here of the dog playing in the water. And I want you to think of this. You have a bad day at work, you come home, your boss yelled at you, you were stuck in traffic, maybe you spilled your lunch all over your shirt, whatever it is, you come home, you walk home to an empty house, you're thinking about your day, you're all bummed out, just kind of sit there. Well, now think of this. You get home, you have a horrible day, come in, you're pissed off, and this mess right here greets you at the front door. It's going to change the way your day went. First, you're going to laugh. It's going to jump all over you, or she's going to jump all over you, give you kisses, and then you'll sit down on the couch maybe a little later after you take it for a walk. Sit on the couch and start to think about your day again, and you look up and you see your Lab chasing his tail, running in circles, and makes you laugh again. Then a little while later, after he's done chasing his tail and he's tired, he wants to come over and sit on your lap like this, which makes you laugh again and forget about your day. So these are all the reasons why a Labrador is the best dog to have and best dog for a man's best friend. So I'm sure at this point you're wondering where to get your Labrador from. There's a couple different places. There's the AKC, as we talked about. There's also kennels, lab rescues, stuff like that. So he's waiting for you. Go get him.
Good job.
That was so cute.
I didn't start my timer. Oh well. Not that it matters.
Why didn't you use your dog as a prop?
I was trying to. I went downstairs to get him, but he's being a friggin' nut right now, so I just left him.
Oh,
He's ready.
that's so cute.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Get over here. There he is.
Oh,
Oh.
oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh,
So sweet. Oh.
Oh, he's cute. Okay, Madison, it's your turn.
All right, let's go. I'm ready to do this. Okay. Okay. How many of you think that firearms are necessary to protect yourself? Now, would you feel the same way if you knew how often firearms kill specifically children? No. Okay, so usually magazines usually tell people how cool and how powerful firearms are, and they never once mention how many children get hurt by these firearms. But now, like, I am here to ask you all to oppose having firearm ownership, because the fact is that firearms are a weapon of violence, and that they take more lives away every single year and make people blind to the fact that they are killing their own children. So now there are three ways in which I am going to show you how firearms are bad and not good. So number one is that having firearms around the house can create the opportunity for lethal violence. People who have guns, who have unstable feelings or tempers, can lead to violent consequences extremely easily. For example, a friend of my dad shot his wife because of a simple argument. So now number two is that firearms pose such a significant risk to children. Thousands of children die by gunfire each year. 8 children every day and more than 50 children every week get killed by firearms. And every year, at least 4 to 5 times as many kids and teens suffer from non-fatal firearm injuries. The rate of firearm deaths of children 0 to 14 years old is nearly 12 times higher in the United States than in 25 other developed nations combined. In 1 year, firearms killed no children in Japan, 19 in England, 57 in Germany, 109 in France, 153 in Canada, and 5,300 in the United States. In this country, we all know that firearms are available. When they are this available, children are more likely to be victims in these firearm tests. Children aged 5 to 14 living Children aged 5 to 14 living in one of the 5 high gun states are twice as likely to commit suicide or to be murdered, 3 times as likely to die from firearm homicides, 7 times as likely to die from firearms suicide, and 16 times as likely to die from a firearm related accident. This study suggests that the higher death rates are largely related to gun availability and are not due to difference in levels of poverty and in education. People kill people with the use of guns. And number 3, guns create more family tragedies. Life can be taken away so easily by the improper use of firearms. People might think that they can keep their weapons properly, but if there are no guns at all, there would be no chance of any gun-related accidents. So now, just think of the Columbine High School and the senseless shootings there, and all the families impacted by that one tragedy. So now, in conclusion, bullets cannot be taken back, and the profit of firearm businesses cannot buy the lives that have been taken away by these firearms. Therefore, we need to oppose gun ownership. I challenge you guys to oppose gun ownership and save a life. And that's it.
Nice job. That was
Good job.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank
job.
you.
So we did it.
Guys,
We're done.
we're done now.
Just have one more to do ourselves.
We're done.
All right, I'm going to stop the broadcast.